IBA grads, gateway to your desired future.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Talal Hussain and I've been helping students preparing for their SATs for the past 7.5 years, and today I'll be talking about the universities that are offering admissions on the basis of SAT in Pakistan. So let's talk a little bit about what SAT is first, and then we'll talk about those universities. SAT is basically an international test that is offered by College Board, and this SAT is recognized and accepted all over the world. So basically, if you have a good score on the SAT, you can get admission in any university in any corner of the world that you want. SAT is a total of 1600. The score is a total of 1600 and has two sections, English and Math, which are both divided into 800 each. Okay, so if you have a good SAT score, if you have a perfect SAT score, or if you have a near perfect SAT score, you can even get into the Ivy League. But today we'll be talking about the universities that are giving admissions or accepting or exempting their tests on the basis of SAT. Now there are a few business schools in Pakistan that are the top priority of some of the students or many of the students as we know it, and we'll be discussing all of those business schools and their eligibility criteria when it comes to the SAT. Now let's first talk about LUMS. LUMS has a very holistic criteria. LUMS completely eliminated its test couple of years back, couple or 3 years back. पहले LUMS का अपना एक टेस्ट होता था, अब LUMS ने वो ख़त्म कर दिया. Now LUMS is giving admissions only on the basis of SAT. Now LUMS has not specified the score on which you can get an admission into LUMS, but it's, as I mentioned, a very holistic criteria in which LUMS will be taking into account your SAT scores, your O and A level grades, your extracurricular activities, your internships, your work experiences if you have any, and all of these things will be evaluated before anyone is granted admission. But the major two things that LUMS will be testing is your SAT score and your O level grades. Now if you have straight A's in your O levels, you might get an admission into LUMS maybe on a score of 1150 as well. But if you do not have that kind of a rapport in your O levels, if you do not have straight A's or maybe you have B's in your O levels, then you might need a score of maybe 1300 or 1350 plus if you want to get an admission into LUMS. Okay? Nothing is confirmed, nothing is stated explicitly by LUMS, but this is what we have seen over the years. After LUMS we have IBA. It's most of the students, they dream about going into IBA, they want to go into IBA, they want to pursue IBA for their business degrees. If we talk about IBA is currently offering 6 programs. So yeah, out of those 6 programs, number 1 is BBA, and then we have 5 BS programs in which we have accounting and finance, economics, social sciences, economics and maths, and computer sciences. Now IBA is offering IBA exempts its test on the basis of SAT. Now if you have the SAT score that IBA requires, you would get your test exempted. IBA has a minimum eligibility criteria of 60% for all the programs. Now, or if you have A levels, then you should have a B and a couple of C's. So if you have a B and a couple of C's or you have 60%, then all you need to do is get the required SAT score that IBA has aimed us for. Okay, so what is that score? वो score क्या है? अगर आपको BBA में या ACF में जाना है तो you need a score of 1270, a total score of 1270, in which you should have at least 600 in both English and Math. If we talk about social sciences and economics, you need a total score of 1200, in which you should have at least 600 in both English and Math. If you talk about the other 2 programs, that is social science, computer sciences and economics and math, again you would need a SAT score that is 1250, but you would need SAT 2 as well. Okay? You would have to give math for SAT 2 as well. So yeah, moving on, if we talk about Zabist, so yeah, so Zabist is also offering, Zabist also exempts its test on the basis of SAT, and it requires a score of 1100. If you have a score of 1100, you can get an exemption into Zabist as well. Now these were the three of the top universities that we normally aim for. One is the Institute of Business Management as well, or commonly known as the College of Business Management, or CBM. But CBM currently is not offering admissions on the basis of SAT. You have to give its admission test if you want to attain an admission at CBM. Apart from these top universities, we have many other universities that are there in Pakistan that are also offering their admissions on the basis of their SAT. So my point is that if you want to get an admission in the top universities of Pakistan, instead of waiting for their test, I would really recommend that you go for the SAT, get a high score, prepare well, get a high score, and exempt your test, and then focus on your A levels or intermediate instead of worrying about their test in the middle of your papers. That's my advice for you. I am Talal Hussain signing off. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much.